A very warm welcome. Today we have Mr. Navaneethan, who is the Vice President and Group CISO and TPO at TataPlay. A very warm welcome, sir. Thank you so much for joining us at CXO TV.
Thanks, Sumi. Thank you so much. And, it's my pleasure being part of your session and glad to have a great conversation.
Thank you, sir. So I think we can, before we get into the discussion, so we would actually like to know how your journey has been so far. And, if you can share some experience that you have gained over the years of time for our CXO TV audience.
It is really, the interesting because if you take my journey towards from fintech to, in terms of media and entertainment, it is absolutely the great shift I can see. But however, wherever you go, just only the data remains same, but there's all the controls. It's like a little bit slice and dice as well as its tailoring is required for the respective organization. It's amazing as well as it's India the top in terms of the OTT as well as the VTH platform. Which has a huge volume base as well as a lot of credential as well as a credibility which needs to be protected from all cyber threats.
So with this increasing demand for content, like that's the most happening thing right now. Everybody is over this content and the emerging multiple platforms that we have. So how are organizations positioning themselves to remain competitive in this content distribution market, if you can highlight?
It is not like earlier, right? If you take 10 years, 20 years back, if you want to get to know what's happening in, other corner of the world, we have to wait for the media, whether it is the news or the paper, right? That's the only way. Now, what is absolutely like in another few seconds, we will get to know what's happening in, other corner of the country, other corner of the world. So in terms of the mode of communication, so the mode of transfers, mode of, the way of the tools and techniques, it is really the wide and it's easy to reach over there. So that aspect, it is really quick enough to get all the information. The same way, since the technology evolved, the people also really wanted to get to know, like it may not require to watch a movie, so, just go to the theater, or maybe you have to wait for, 3 hours in front of your TVs to have it, right? Now, it's like, whatever the content should be available at my convenience, I should be able to see the things, whatever I wanted to. I should be able to pause it, and then where we should be able to watch it in the different time zone, right? That's why it's more competitive. Like if you see the current trend where we have more than 40 plus, the OTT platform, as well as many other the competitor. But how we are standing as a top in terms of the quality, and then in terms of the commitment, what has been promised, and it's delivered on top of that. So that will give a lot of the excitement, which will give. In terms of the value additions.
As you were just saying, right, wherever, whichever industry you may join, data remains. And so is the fact in terms of privacy and data protection, which is a very crucial aspect, especially in this digital landscape. So how is this industry adapting to the evolving regulatory environment, and what steps are being taken to ensure under these data privacy?
It's very interesting. Like since we are talking yesterday, so DBDB bill has been passed in Lok Sabha, and of course, in a couple of days, we can see as a law. And before coming to this, maybe from our organization standpoint, where we have taken a lot of steps ahead, and already we have started the assessment because we don't wait. That should become as a law, then we have to start the work, right? Always a little bit ahead to start the work and get things done to ensure that how we can add value for the customers. So when coming back to for the TataPlay, just always customer data is the counsel as well as the customer data is the primary key stuff which needs to be protected. And it's already just we do a lot of stuff, but on top of that, as the security is a continuous the effort and the continuous the assessment, like we'll be continuously evolving what best where we can do to protect customer data. So that's our primary responsibility. On top of that, the information security, what data needs to be collected, how needs to be protected, and then where needs to be processed, right? It's all the 3 cycles just where we're ensuring this end-to-end, it has been taken care in a very secure. At the same time, only need to know basis the data being collected to the, our requirement.
So in terms of cloud computing, what are the key parameters we need to look on the cloud security if you can forward to each point?
It is, if you take the TataPlay, it's connected on both the way. One as enterprise, second one as a startup mode. We have both the dynamics. Maybe very simple, we used to say, if it's a startup, within a day, the people will change the firewall. But in the enterprise, even within a month also, you cannot change one firewall rule itself because it goes through a lot of process and change management and all things. So that aspect, the cloud is the one it's adopting in the bigger way because it's over the night. If you want to scale up, scale down in terms of the elasticity and then speed and then what are the compute engines, what it is required. It's just like that where we can go ahead and then utilize and then other area we can come down on that. That aspects of cloud adaptations going up, but not only on the startup, in terms of the enterprise also. One of the bigger challenges in terms of the people understanding the responsibility. Whether it's a shared responsibility, who owns what, right? The people, we cannot blindly say if it is a cloud means like entire things needs to be taken care by the cloud service provider, or maybe it has to be taken care by the organization. It is absolutely shared responsibility. It's based on the what model of the cloud adoptions where you are doing. Whether it is a SaaS, PaaS, arenas, based on that, you have to define what is your responsibility, what is our responsibility, how we can ensure the governance, and that will play a very significant role in terms of the cloud. And second parameter is really we want to ensure that from the cloud standpoint, how in terms of provisioning, deprovisioning, because the cost also directly connected, right? Wherever you touch, it's directly connected to the cost. And third one is not only the cost, it's directly can expose to the external world in a fraction of seconds, right? So that way, really just we need a complete governance and then control enforcements from internally, externally at the same time in terms of controls on overall identity access management.
What are the key mechanisms that are planned to protect from the threat landscape?
It's very interesting question. So if you see threat landscape, so maybe the 20 years back, what we had it, right? Our infrastructure, if you want to clear one check, we used to go to the bank. And it takes a minimum of a few hours to clear the check and then come back. And that's where we have to plan. But now if you want to do the transaction of the multiple lakhs, it's a few minutes, few seconds where we should be able to transfer and then get things done. The same way, the transformation is completely gone, right? I mean, the last 10 years to 20 years, it's absolutely the drastic change. And everything is on the Internet of Things. It's a well-connected network. And really, it's very difficult to do the bifurcations of even private data and then personal data. So that aspect is completely merged from the end to end. At the same time, not only in terms of data movement, in terms of the threats are also getting increased. Because since we are well-connected internet, it's easy to propagate and then understand what you have, what you don't have it, and then what is the vulnerabilities you have it, how we can exploit and then add value for the the respective hacker mindset. So that aspect's really it's very simple, right? We used to say earlier we have ambassador. So road, whatever road we have it, that's infrastructure is absolutely fine. Now just all the car, it goes maybe 250 kilometers per hour. So with this kind of speed of car and then things like really we cannot have the old roads, right? The road also needs to be expanded. The infrastructure also needs to be built to run such a this vehicle. The same way really we have to scale up in terms of not only on the business side, really to protect in terms of detect and then protect. It's a very important step which need a lot of tools and technologies and integration of all the process from end to end. And we have to just understand the nature of probability and possibility of the attack. It's like we have a lot of multi-attack techniques. It's very simple, right? Where we have a 388 plus tricks and techniques where we have it. Where we have a couple of dedicated teams, so they will be doing complete in terms of the propagation of or the possibility of breaking into our systems and then understand where is the gap, how we can patch, and then how we can ensure that from the end to end.
In today's time, we are seeing so much of technological advancement, be it AI or ML. So how are these technologies like AI and ML are adding to the impacting of businesses and cybersecurity?
AML, it has two set of validations, right? AML create a lot of the bot and then other steps for the cybersecurity. If you want to detect, if you want to prevent, if you want to do the vulnerability assessment, where we can use the AML, it may not require additional the people and then techniques. Right? I can give up CXO TV just the website name itself, and then I can get to know what are the vulnerability, what are the propagation of possibility of penetration into your network. So that is one advantage. But the same thing, it's like a double-edged sword, right? How this other people also how the hackers also use it. For them also it is easy. It may not require a lot of techniques and tricks to get to know. If you use as a chatbot tool, it is more than enough. And the ChatGPT, the phone, as well as so many options where we have it. One thing is you have to mention your domain name and then what activity you want to do that. You will get it flagged and then get it done. Next, the major advantages of AML is where we are automating a lot of stuff. Because what are the consumer standpoint and what are the process standpoint, it may not require people have to wait and get things done. Because now it's more than money, the time and effort is the very crucial for each and every consumer. So how we can see them, how we can ensure the things that they can get in the positive track, right? That's what this AML adding a lot of values. But just we are also, as a cybersecurity, we are enabler, just to be trying to balance how we can ensure that it has been utilized only for the purpose what has been meant for that, not on other way actually. So in fact, from organization standpoint, we are blocked, but however, we are allowing that's a business requirement, what it is required, because we don't want to leak out any sensitive confidential data from the organizations to their own thing. It's not knowingly, but unknowingly, they may not aware, as most of the organizations, they have gone through a lot of a breach and then data leakage over there. So it has a pros and cons. Always we have to look on that what is the positive side, and then how the value addition is happening for as an individual, as an organization, as well as for the country.
In today's time, what we can see that people are so much driven by this concept of personalization. And so does it happens in the content industry as well, wherein personalization has becoming a key factor in content recommendation. So how are organizations leveraging data analytics to offer personalized content choices rather to their users?
No, absolutely. See, if you see 5 years back, only the startups have the data analytics. The most of the decision, most of the budgeting, most of the direction of the entire business, it was happening based on the analytics. I mean, it's very simple, right? What's the age of people? They are looking, and then which regions of people they are looking. What kind of the challenge, right? So that standpoint, that's what it is ruling. I mean, it was there in the most of the startups. Now it has been rolled out to the most of the enterprise also, because that is a one helping you to drive your business on the right directions. So it's very simple, right? If you take the satellite launching, the PSLV, GSLV rocket, if it is a 0.01 degree deviations from what is planned, the entire, while launching in the multiple kilometer, the entire, deviations will be a little bit multiple kilometers. So it won't go and stand on the right orbit, right? So that aspect's really the small stuff, but the data analytics will help us to drive the business on the right directions. It's not only on the media and the entertainment, it's maybe on the fintech or any business decision. Because that's the way there's a volume of consumer, where they are interested, what they are interested, what they wanted to buy, what not wanted to buy, and where to invest their time and then effort, right? So that aspect, the analytics is one. It's helping most of the organizations to thrive and to excel on the respective domain in the different zone.
So ever since the pandemic has hit and we have seen so much rise in this OTT services, and as you were rightly pointing out, like people want to watch the content at their own time, at their own space, instead of running after the time. So, so do you believe that this shift is going to be a permanent one, and how do you anticipate that consumer behavior is changing in post COVID era?
No, sir. It's really COVID has taught a lot, not only on the the OTT side, right? I mean, in terms of the value for the people, it's a value for the the technology, and then it's a value for this the community. How the community is helping each other, how we can add value. It's like a lot of thought process. Coming back to the the OTT, if you see the 20 years back, the same way, the entire city or maybe entire street will have a one TV. Okay, where we used to go and watch, you might not aware, those kind of setup, which was happen over there. It's like people will be, watching. It's like maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So there will be a couple of songs, and that's the way it is. Then it's like every house got up, the TV. Then every house got multiple TV, right? Then every house got multiple, the mobile. And then each persons will have a multiple, mobile in the current era actually.
Right.
So that's a very now this, as you rightly mentioned, the specialization, and the people want to do at home also. Earlier, if you see, as a family, they will watch just one channel, right? Whatever it is happening, that's the way. Maybe we also made a mind, and that's what we used to watch on the right directions. But now the requirement has absolutely changed. At home itself, ground floor, first floor, or maybe the bedroom to main hall, it's like each one on the TV itself are different. But now on the same hall, you can see there is a four, parents and brothers and sisters. They're sitting, all four of them are holding their own mobile.
Right.
So all four different screeners are streaming over there actually, right? Because everyone taste is different, their mindset is different. The current trends, like the people are looking how you guys watched, the one channel, all the entire family, right? Because everybody age is different and mindset is different, and what they wanted to watch also is absolutely different. So that aspect of the personalizing will play very significant role, and really the COVID has taught it, like really wherever you are, just you can watch that channel, what you wanted to have it. That's why technology also evolved, right? In terms of streaming the content, in terms of the internet facilities, what we have it, and then in terms of the TV itself, where we have a 4K HD definition is very difficult. Now on all the mobile where we have a 4K HD, the definitions in terms of the video quality and all the things. So in fact, if you see from TataPlay standpoint, yesterday onwards, you'd have noted where we have started to operational on GSAT 24 satellite. It is amazing. And India, we have a dedicated satellite where we have a 900 plus quality channels can be the transmitted and the received from the end to end. So that way, because it's like so people have a demand, people looking for the quality deliverables, right? As well as the number of channels also move in as a one pack. So that's also launched, and then that's like a huge transformation. I can say this will cascade to the the multiple requirement, whatever we want to have it.
I completely agree. Like the entire content industry has taken a huge shift, and not just content, with the emerging technological advancement, we are seeing like every industry is evolving and amplifying by itself. So, as a leader in this content distribution and OTT space, what excites you the most about this industry's future, and what are the key opportunities you foresee in the next 2 years to come?
If you take, the business itself, it's close to 225 billion, the USD business actually. It is a huge market, and what it is going to evolve in this the OTT, it is not just only the broadcast tech, right? Let us take some, maybe you are watching some serial or maybe some movie. Maybe you like the costumes, what they were, dreaming over there. Maybe just you can click on and then seeing there like what you wanted to buy. Maybe just you can order the store next to that actually. Because that's what it is, the bigger challenges, right? I mean, now maybe you have to look on a separate website, Amazon, Flipkart. Now, then like what are the things that is coming over there? Maybe you found some sofas too good on the, serial scenes or whatever it is coming. You wanted to buy that. Just click on, double click, and then you can buy from there itself. It's like a personal feel. Like you are watching the, serial, and then you are watching the movie, not only to, excite you, not only entertain you, just to maybe you were doing shopping alone, that's the aspect also.
Personal connect you can draw.
Absolutely. So that things it's more of our it's coming soon. I can say that will excite a lot of the consumer, and it's maybe the one-to-one this conversations. What do you want to do? What kind of stuff? And maybe we can study and then help you. Like what kind of mood just you have it? What kind of channel you wanted to see during that time? Maybe like how you see during night as a melody, in the morning it may be it's completely the brainstorming line. So based on that time, based on the mood, maybe understand it's what the AML will play very significant role. So that aspect, so it's like a lot of excitement on the the OTT platform, not only cascading the content.
I think users like us, we are really looking forward to such experience to be gained at our end in terms of the content. Like people are so crazy about it in today's time. So yeah, we do look forward to that. And thank you so much, sir, for joining us at CXO TV and sharing such insightful knowledge for our audience. Thank you for sharing your time with us.
Absolutely, Umi. Thank you so much for having me. It's a great the interactions, and looking forward to learn a lot from all other leaders too. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.